All right, Jeff, get the show on the road.
Okay. I'd like to call this Planning Commission meeting to order. Tom, can you lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance, and maybe we can have everybody mute so that we're not talking over each other. Does anybody have a flag? Oh, there.
Yeah.
And, oh, Jan.
Give me a second. There we go.
Okay.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Great. Thank you, Tom. Can I get a motion for the approval of the agenda?
Oh, we need roll call.
Oh, wait, we need roll call
Roll call.
first. Annette, roll call, please. Annette, are you going to pull roll call? You're muted.
Sorry, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yep.
Okay. Commissioner Anderson,
Still here?
Commissioner Keen looks like an absence. Commissioner Shaw,
Here.
Commissioner Wolf,
Here.
Commissioner Zerk,
Here.
Vice Chairperson Vanden Eyck.
Here.
So we have 5 present.
Great. So we actually can conduct this meeting. That's good. Can I get a motion for the approval of the agenda?
I move to approve.
I'll second.
We got Dwayne as an approval and
I think it was Jan's second.
Jan is second. Okay.
Okay, I'll do a roll call. Commissioner Anderson,
Yes.
Commissioner Shaw,
Yes.
Commissioner Wolf,
Yes.
Commissioner Zerk,
Yes.
Vice Chairperson Vanden Eyck.
Yes.
Motion passes 5-0.
Great. This is time for public comment. This portion of the meeting is reserved for persons wishing to address the commission on any matter not on this agenda and over which the commission has jurisdictions. Speakers are limited to 3 minutes. Please state your name for the record before making your presentation. The commission may take action to direct the staff to place the matter of business on a future agenda. Are there any people in the public that are here?
This is John. It does not look like we have any people calling in onto the webinar.
Okay.
Thank you.
Then we'll move on to the consent calendar. All items on the consent calendar are considered to be routine and non-controversial by city staff and will be approved by one motion if no member of the commission or public wishes to comment or ask questions. Does anybody want to poll any of these, or do I have a motion to approve the consent calendar?
Well, I think staff's going to pull this item. We just want to have a quick discussion about that. I'm going to have Nick DeBar, our Public Works Director, chime in.
So this is on item number 2?
Yes.
So do we want to vote on item number 1 before we get to item number 2, which is just the minutes?
Let's have an approval of the consent of the draft minutes.
I'll move to approve the draft minutes of November 17th, 2020.
A second.
Okay, we have
Okay,
a second.
Commissioner Wolf,
Yes.
Commissioner Anderson,
Yes.
Commissioner Shaw,
Yes.
Commissioner Zerk,
Absent.
Vice Chairperson Vanden Eyck.
Yes.
Motion passes 4-1. Thank you.
Okay. Let's see. So we'll go ahead. We don't have any community staff reports, development staff reports, right? Are we putting this on a public hearing, or is this just a comment and report?
Hey, this is a comment report. Basically, we just describe the situation about the consent item. It turns out that this particular item is going to require action by the city council, and we didn't determine that until after the agenda was posted. So I'll have Nick DeBar, our Public Works Director, describe the map for this property on Kerberville.
Right, so it's all Director Dunsmore's fault. I'm just kidding. I take full responsibility for this snafu. Thank you, Annette, for putting it together for us. So typically parcel maps need to go to city council when there's a dedication to the public of right-of-way. The city manager and the public works director, myself, can accept public easements on behalf of the city without going to the city council or planning commission. However, if it's part of a parcel map, the Subdivision Map Act does require that any dedication of any to the public of anything needs to go to the legislative body, which is the city council. So this item will need to go to city council because there's a 6-foot public utility easement that fronts curb rail on this parcel. And the planning, only the city council can accept that on behalf of the public. Just the way it is worded, I thought it was worded a different way. If it said something like a reservation or something else like that, it could just come to the planning commission. So you guys were default to, because in our code, it indicates all parcel maps shall be approved by the planning commission, if not by city council, if they don't go to city council. So that's why it came to you guys because of that. But with the map, having specifically the public dedication to the public for a public utility easement needs to go to the city council.
So does the planning commission have to take any action on this, or would it just go right to we don't have to do anything, go right to the city council?
No, you don't have to take any action on this. You already did take action on approving the tentative map for it. So there's no reason for it to come back to you guys if it has to go to city council. So I apologize for getting the band here together without any instruments, but my apologies.
Well, I missed all these commissioners anyway. We haven't had anything to talk about for a couple of weeks, so this is perfect.
It's true, a couple of months.
Does anyone have any questions on that procedure?
No.
Okay. Again, my apologies, my fault. But it's good to see everybody. I haven't seen Mike Schaaf for a while, so that's good. Or Dwayne, I haven't seen Dwayne or Tom, or actually all of you guys. I haven't seen any of you guys except Dwayne and Natalie.
We haven't seen anybody either
I
since about March.
saw some guy that looked like Phil on a mountain bike over at Three Bridges, but
Wasn't me though.
sure.
But I have left a message for the applicant to let him know that is, and I do have the map on next Tuesday's council meeting agenda, so I've been able to pull some strings and get it on there, so we can keep this map recordation on a timely schedule.
Thanks, Nick. All right.
Do we have any commissioner comments or reports? No? Okay, then we'll go to our director's report. Bill?
Thank you. And just a quick question for John Holder. Did we have anyone that called in about this item at all?
It looks like we still do not have anyone. So
Okay, great.
good to go.
Wanted to double check.
All right.
All right, so I just wanted to let the commission know what's been happening in terms of projects that are going on. Right now, we're making a big shift to do a lot of long-range planning. A lot of our current development projects are going to be a little ways off, but right now we've got several grants to work on a number of activities for our housing element, a number of activities for doing some zoning amendments. And we have a big project coming up that we're going to commence later this year, which is going to be the entire citywide general plan update. So a lot going on that we're going to need a lot of involvement from the Planning Commission with, and there'll be a lot to weigh in that's really important about the future of our city starting this summer, hoping when we can get back to having some real public meetings and getting people together In the meantime, we've been setting the stage for that. We've been having a lot of great meetings with the Measure D20. I hope you become involved in that, because that's an opportunity for people to say, where should we be spending our funds in the future? Should it be emergency services? Should it be economic development and planning? Should it be public works and roads, things like that? A lot of discussion happening there, which will lead to a city strategic planning session in February, early March, late February, where we'll be doing that with City Council. And then we'll be returning to you for some zoning updates, likely in March. Typically the zoning updates that we like to do every year. And then we'll be getting into a new ordinance for our accessory dwelling units. We'll be doing a new ordinance for affordable housing, and a whole bunch of other things that the state's going to require us to do that we put into our housing element that we got grants for, that are going to help us do things better. So a lot of stuff coming on sort of the long range and policy development side of things. But in addition to that, there is some big development projects brewing. The big Walmart property is in escrow right now and going through a transaction. There's some folks that would like to develop that site with some sort of tourist serving uses, possibly a brewery, possibly some lodging, possibly some entertainment stuff, really interesting stuff. There's also a very big project at Dove Creek brewing on that 5-acre parcel at the corner over there at El Camino Real and Santa Barbara Road. And there's still the big project over there. It's called Barrel Creek. That's over there on the west side of the freeway at Del Rio. And still the Del Rio properties themselves that will develop. So we'll see a lot of those things coming along, a lot of commercial development that'll be happening this year, a lot of interesting stuff. A lot of people have been thinking, planning, and doing development during COVID, even though it's been a difficult time for most businesses. People are still doing a lot of construction. You might have also heard, I'm going to mention to you what we just did for business help. We just spent $250,000 of the city's general fund to help small businesses. The city council guided that money towards restaurants primarily and personal services such as hairdressers. And we formed a committee with the Chamber of Commerce, and we selected about 63 businesses to receive grant awards directly from the city to help them out. Those grant amounts weren't huge. They were about $4,500, but hey, it was something to keep them going during this difficult time. And so we just completed that about a week and a half ago. So we've been spending a lot of time with that as well. Just wanted to provide you an update on some of those things, but also I'm here to answer any questions. If you have questions about what's happening in the community or how things are going, we can chat about that as well.
Yeah, I have a question. I'm wondering when my last planning commission meeting will be.
Will there be a last one? I thought you were going to be with us forever.
Well, not having been reappointed by Roberta
Oh,
as she's leaving. Yeah,
here's
I'm
the
just
deal.
what.
Yeah, the terms officially expire in December, but
Right.
we like to keep you on until they appoint somebody new, if you're okay with that. So they're going to make those decisions tonight, I understand. And so, and then I guess we'll let you know. But gosh,
Okay.
if we lose you, then we have a big, there's also a big going away party. So you've been really helpful.
Oh, really?
Commission. So you got to do something, not just, hey, goodbye, thanks, No, it's actually a great service you guys provide to the city. It's a lot of help. It's volunteer time. It's a big deal.
Yeah.
So,
No, it's been a lot of fun. I'll say that.
so do you know that you're not getting reappointed, or do you? I mean,
Well, yeah, because Roberta appointed me.
yeah, but what if Mark decides to appoint you?
I have not had any
have not.
conversations with
Okay.
anyone. I would think that I would have had someone else wanted to appoint me. So I haven't had any
so-
conversations with anybody about it.
Have you reached out to anybody about it? Are you interested? I mean, are you just kind of saying, well, maybe it's time anyway, or?
Well, I kind of reached out a little bit to someone and I don't think I sort of got a very non-committal response, I would say. So, which, you know, I mean, I think Voin and I have been on 8 years. So,
Yeah.
you know, that's kind of a long time too.
That's a good
So,
run.
but I mean, if somebody wanted to talk to me about it, I'm open to talking about it for sure.
Because I think what it comes down to be honest with you, it's difficult to find good commissioners, and it takes
Yeah.
time to get up to speed to understand how everything's working and
Yeah.
just the normal, you know, orders of operation and what's going on in the city. So, yeah, I wasn't even aware of that. I'm sorry, Jan.
No, it's okay. It's okay.
So, yeah, sometimes our city clerk reaches out and the whole bit. I'm left out of the whole selection process. It's sort of odd. So I get to
Yeah.
just be the guy over here, you know. So, but I do know they were doing interviews tonight. So
Yeah.
I think they had a couple of candidates, and for the
Well, I
two,
thought they said they had 5.
they had 5.
Five applications for, I think, at large.
Yeah, they did. They started them at 4 and I was at 5:15. So I assume that there was, you know, at least 5.
Okay.
You
Well, let's
know,
see how it
it's
goes.
it's
If
kind
we-
of like however, you know, however it works out, you know, the universe has a way of working things out. So I'm
It
totally
does.
fine with it.
It absolutely does. It kind of just works out. But
It does. It
I
does.
really thank you for serving on the planning commission and for your time. And if it doesn't pan out that way, we'll be in touch either way. And
Okay.
maybe you can come help us out in some other way.
I'd
Maybe
be
design
happy to
review.
do
How about
that.
design review committee? There's always that too.
I don't know about that.
Have you been on the DRC before?
I have not been. No, I
We
have
can
not been.
tell you all about it.
I need to chime in. So this is probably going to be the swan song for me as well, as Phil and I discussed. I can say that the DRC is really actually a lot of fun. It's more freewheeling and
Yeah.
yeah, it's a lot of fun to do. So, you know, I recommend that if anybody is interested in that one.
Yeah, a lot of interesting stuff goes there, believe it or not.
Yeah, it does. You kind of see something come in and then go make maybe two times around to changes and stuff. And a lot of input goes, especially public input, really is effective in that. So it's pretty neat.
Something to think about.
Okay. Anyway, any other questions about what's happening in the community and stuff going on?
Oh, when are they going to do Kubaril? Oh, no. San Gabriel.
Oh, next year. So after the rainy season. So yeah, they just surveyed it. They surveyed San Gabriel. They surveyed San Marcos. Those are the next 2 rows. Oh, Nick's here. He can tell us about it.
No, keep
Oh,
going.
great.
It sounds like you've been listening to my schedule, so let's see if you're right. Keep going.
No, I'm not gonna. I'm gonna let Nick speak to that. I'd be guessing at dates, but it's next year is all I can say, right?
Well, we're in final design right now. We haven't gotten to 30% plans. We kind of did a pavement design, and there's drainage issues on both of those roads. But right now, you know, the schedule is to have it bid out by, you know, summertime and possibly have construction going late summer. Possibly. It is more expensive than what our budget is. The good news is that we're in the budget cycle right now, and I'm updating all those CIP projects, so we'll be able to get that updated costs in the budget. So if we don't have money this summer to do it, it'll probably be done next summer, but we're probably going to do it. I'm going to push for this summer as much as I can, just because both those roads in such terrible condition. We spend a lot of, I've got maintenance guys that spend a lot of time out on both of those roads patching potholes and
Oh, yeah.
constantly.
Oh, yeah.
Not in the winter only either, like in the summertime, late summer, like all those potholes open up and bust out. And so there's a lot of time spent, so.
So I have a question about something that I've observed. So have we seen like, I don't know if it's a noticeable increase on the wear of some roads, because now, like say I'm on Carmelita here where it dead ends, you know, how many FedEx trucks and whatnot do I have go bombing up and down the road every day? Probably at least, 10, 15 trips. Some of our roads are not designed to handle that as far as their infrastructure go. Have you seen more wear on roads because of that?
I don't think that you could really track to the FedEx and UPS trucks. The worst regular trucks that go down your road each week are the garbage trucks. They do the most damage.
Well then
Yeah.
stop.
By far.
A city I last lived in, we actually had we had 4 garbage providers that would service, like we didn't have the city didn't have an exclusive contract. So on one day I'd have 12 garbage trucks going down my street.
Oh.
Whoa.
Solid waste, recycling, and green waste. 4 companies. Good times. No, but there's been no noticeable increase in deterioration from that.
Yeah, I'm curious, because,
Yeah, but no,
Yeah.
right now we're finishing up our F-14 project. So Palomar from El Camino out towards like back by Chalk Mountain Golf Course, Cortez there is all being redone. We did a lot of roads down in that section of town on the east side of El Camino. But yeah, good.
Bill's muted.
Yeah,
There.
sorry, talking to other people that are walking around.
All right, are there any other items?
That's it. It's a pretty quiet night, so kind of use the opportunity just to say hey and check in, and yeah, that's about it. Unless you guys have more topics.
No?
All right.
Good to see everybody, though.
Good to see you guys. All right.
Well,
Yeah.
we'll adjourn into the
See you
next
next
regular
time.
meeting then.
Thank you.
February 2nd, are we meeting on February 2nd?
No. So we'll let you know about the next meeting date,
Okay,
and we'll swear in some new commissioners.
Alrighty.
All right. Have a
All right.
great evening.
good to see you,
Okay.
everybody.
Thank you, everyone.
Bye, everybody.
Bye-bye.